Do you know how bad the foams can become on your RC tires? I'm going to take these apart, and what I'm about to show you is not pretty. A friend of mine gave me a set of tires. They are non-branded. They are probably from the DS4 crawler that we had, like right in the beginning of the channel. And he upgraded the tires, so he gave them to me. I've been using them on the channel for a few different things. I try to run them without air. I put some bead locks on them and. So now, at this stage, I have bead locks and I have foams in them, but every time I open these tires, I notice that the foams are really disintegrating quite fast. Let me open these and you can actually see the horrific state that the foams are in. Let's go! Magnet, bolts, good trick. Oh, one missing. Okay, let's take the bead locks apart and take out the foams. Gnarly foam number one. That's not even the worst one. I think this is the worst one. Look how it's just disintegrating as I'm taking it out, what it's doing to the tire. Let's put them next to each other. And I think this one is actually the worst one of them all. Wow, look at that. So you can actually see they go from thick to thin. So they are disintegrating more and more and more. If I rub them, they just leave a big pile of dust. And these foams have not even run through water. They're just disintegrating because they're more than 2 years old. And this is kind of what has happened to them. So time destroys the foams. We all know that. This is kind of what's getting left behind. This is the gnarliest one of the lot. It's basically doing nothing anymore for the tire, where some of them still have a bit of sponginess left in them. But as you can see, these foams need replacements, because even the outer running ring of the foam has probably like flipped itself. And I don't know why there's a bead in the middle or a groove. They just look terrible. So time for some new ones. These are some cheap foams that I found, and I've gone and taken the liberty of cutting grooves into them to kind of make them into a dual stage foam. I have another video on that where I do that to the, well, I upgrade. I have two videos on upgrading the Traxxas tires, the Canyon 1.9s. I've kind of done the same thing with these foams. And as you can see, these foams are a much better quality. Also, one of the major differences is that they have not been joined. They don't have a glue area. This foam was obviously glued together. It was just a strip that they glued together. And what it actually does, has become quite hard over time. So the sponginess does not exist in the glued area. So that's actually not a very good quality item, let's say. The tires also don't have a name, so it is a no-name brand. So I would say when you are buying new foams, look out that they don't have a glue area, that they're just one piece like these. So I got my new foams and my really bad foams. This is the worst one I got. Let's put it back into the tire. So the new foam obviously It gives you a lot of pressure. Make sure that you look inside and place it into the proper position, that it doesn't have folds. So just by squeezing it a little bit, make sure that everything sits in its right position. Once you've done that, we can pop in the center section of the bead lock. Let the lip sit in the inner ring on both sides. Wow, these are dusty. And slide the rim in, making sure that the lip gets pinched by the ring. I have to get all this dust off here from these old foams. Up. Now getting the inner ring and then lining the inner ring up with the holes so that we can put the screws back in. So here we have the tire with the new foam. Let's put the ring in the old one. So we're going to place the old foam on the left of the car and the new foam on the right of the car. Actually, I'm forgetting to put the car onto my 3D printed stand. Why not? So at first glance, there's not really a difference. So I've taken the body off that we can see the wheel a little bit better. This is the old foam and this side is the new foam. So the new tire is obviously standing a lot firmer. The old tire looks like it hardly has any air in it. Now, where you would really notice a bad foam is by side hilling. You get a lot of weight onto the one side of the car, and what would happen is the tire would collapse under the rim. This means that your balance point is put off and your car would tip over a lot sooner. If you have a firm, steady foam or a dual foam or any kind of new foam in your tire, you immediately notice the difference. The tire is not collapsing under the rim, and your side hilling can be a lot higher than with an old foam. So with the tire collapsing, you lose traction. So not only on side hilling, but also if you're on full steering lock, you're coming on a downhill, your tire will collapse under the weight of the vehicle, not just allowing you not to steer the car through the obstacle properly, but also losing traction on that wheel. Now, with the new foam, you don't have that situation. Your car can still be steered through the obstacle and also does not lose the traction like the old foam does. And you will also lose performance under the weight of a heavier body, for example. If I take this lighter body off and replace it with the 800 gram old chopped Blazer body, you can already see that this tire is really battling under the weight of the body alone. So this will just be a big disaster. There will be no control of the car and the tire will constantly just collapse under the weight of this body. So swap the foams, hit the trail. It's going everywhere. This needs to go in the bin. I mean, it's just making me sneeze. Don't want anybody thinking I'm sick. Bruh. Helicopter, helicopter. Now I know these tires are not as good as the Canyon 1.9s, especially after I modified the Canyon tires. I'll put a link down below, you can check out that video. But for a scale look, these tires are the ones that I'm looking for. So if I'm just presenting the car and not actually going out on the trail for performance, I will run the rig with these tires just because of the look. So let's go out and see how the foams perform. So it's time to do less talking and more crawling. scale trail was a bit worse than the normal trail I always go onto, because I have got a lot of weeds and stuff wrapped around the back of my prop shaft. And as you can see, it's actually really straining to actually turn the entire drivetrain. So I'm going to clean this up, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.